this?
No. Holy what the hell is that?
Madison and her brother were relaxing in the living room when they suddenly heard strange noises coming from their mom's bedroom. They grabbed their phone and started recording, and what they captured that night is truly chilling.
What the hell? What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy what the hell is that?
As Madison's brother pointed the camera toward their mom's bedroom, he captured something terrifying. A figure moved in a way that did not seem human, and then the shadowy shape appeared to rise off the ground. The family was left in shock, but on another night, Madison was alone in the house when she saw something even worse.
It's late, and I'm hearing voices in the kitchen. It's just me in here. Shite. Sounds like something's banging over my shirt.
Late at night, Madison heard strange noises coming from the kitchen. As she got closer, a scraping sound could be heard, and then sudden loud footsteps came rushing straight toward her, like something was trying to attack. The family kept documenting the strange events, hoping to find answers. Whether it is something supernatural or there is a logical explanation, the mystery remains unsolved. In this clip, a man captures something that feels far from normal. Right from the start, you can feel that creepy tension slowly building.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I've seen. Holy hell.
The ghostly hands pressed against the glass slowly vanished, and his dog immediately started barking as if it sensed something there. Later, he said that ever since that night, his house has not been the same. He hears knocks around 3 a.m. His phone light flickers on by itself, and he feels a cold presence behind him. He also wakes up to find his closet door open and the same handprints appearing on his mirror, while his dog refuses to go near that side of the house. He tried cleansing and blessing the space, but it only seemed to make things worse. A mother named Christy says something has been happening in her home that she cannot explain anymore. Over several days, she noticed her young son would suddenly stop mid-conversation, go completely still, and stare at the same spot in the house. He would not blink or respond, like something unseen had caught his attention. At first, she ignored it, but it kept happening, and every time he looked in the same direction. Then, one evening, while she was making dinner, he pointed toward the dining room and began repeating the same phrase over and over in a calm voice that unsettled her.
Where's the ghost?
Look at it.
What do you see?
I see something in a tiny room.
What is
I
it?
see something in a tiny room.
Where is it?
Perhaps. You're too room.
I don't see it.
I'm opening it. It's perhaps. See, look, I'm opening it a volcano. I open this one. You is one.
What?
You is one.
There's what?
You is.
What'd you see?
Next to my eye.
What?
Someone side on the hat. Someone side on the hat. Someone side on the hat.
It's okay.
I see a pectin pudding on a. I see a pectin pudding in a hat.
You see what?
A Betting putting a hat.
Hearing her own child say it with that much certainty left Christy shaken. She brought him into the dining room and asked him to show exactly what he meant. He pointed to a picture hanging on the wall, which confused her because it had been there for months and he had never reacted to it before. Some believe children notice things adults do not, and that he may have sensed something connected to the image. Whatever the reason, something about that picture has changed, leaving Christy without any real explanation. A man has repeatedly claimed it is not his house that is haunted. For months, he recorded disturbing moments like waking up unable to breathe, feeling hands around his throat, hearing low growls in the dark, and violent slams that sounded angry. Hoping to escape it, he left and booked a hotel room far away. Before going to sleep, he set up a camera, and that is when something happened. At first, the curtain's movement does not seem unusual, but when the footage is slowed down, something else appears. A dark shape can be seen moving across the room, pacing back and forth like it is aware of the camera. After seeing that, the man says he no longer thinks it is the house that is haunted. He believes whatever follows him. And with how aggressive the activity has been, the choking, the growling, and the way it shows up while he sleeps, some viewers think it could be something much darker than a normal haunting. So, is this proof of an attachment, or is there another explanation? A woman bought a Chevy truck, but her dog Titus wanted nothing to do with it. At first, people brushed it off, but Titus would stop, sniff the air, and refuse to get in, no matter how hard she tried. Now, he is acting the same way again, except this time, it is not the truck. It is something inside the house.
That is out. What? What's wrong?
Evie?
Thomas, what is that?
Titus looks seriously unsettled in the living room, staring at one specific spot like something unseen has his full attention. Some viewers suggested carbon monoxide from the fireplace, while others blamed rodents. But the woman says if it were a mouse, the cat would react immediately, and this time it did not. Friends even suggested a pet psychic, which she says she is considering. She kept filming Titus to look for a pattern, but things got worse when the cat also started acting strangely.
They're in the thing. You want to hear? James. Why do you want in there? Ready? Hey. Triangles. Okay, here we go. Okay, go on. Hi. What was that? What was that?
After trying to go into the garage several times, the cat suddenly stops, freezes, and slowly backs away, like something unseen is blocking the doorway. When Titus comes over and reacts the same way, the woman becomes convinced that whatever is causing it is coming from the garage. Garages are often linked to strange paranormal reports, with animals reacting to unseen movement or sounds. So what do you think is going on? Is there really something in the garage only the pets can sense? Or is there another explanation? A man who had recently moved into a new house with his family began noticing strange things happening, especially around the basement. One quiet night, while watching TV, his dog suddenly started growling and staring at the basement door. Feeling uneasy, he went over to see what was going on, but as soon as he opened the door, something happened that left him completely shaken.
What's the matter, buddy? What's the matter, bud? What's the matter, big guy? Huh? Something down there. Oh. What'd you hear, buddy? Just put this in.
As soon as the man opened the basement door, a shadowy figure suddenly darted across the room. Not fully sure what he had just seen, he carefully made his way down the stairs. Then, an eerie woman's cry echoed through the basement. When he reached the bottom, he froze in fear. A dark figure stood completely still, staring right at him. Terrified, he turned and ran upstairs as fast as he could. The next day, alone and determined to face it, he built up the courage to go back into the basement. But as expected, things only got worse.
Windows locked. Nowhere for anybody to hide. Stand back here. Move around. Windows locked. Bars are in there. Bars. Non-stop.
As he searched through the basement, he suddenly heard the sound of footsteps running overhead, even though he was completely alone in the house. He quickly rushed upstairs to check, but what he captured next was even more disturbing.
If you want me now, man, take me. I'm leaving. Tired of
The moment the man said he was leaving the house, a violent series of loud bangs exploded from every direction, like the walls themselves were raging. The sounds kept getting louder and more frantic, and then the doorknob started shaking aggressively, as if unseen hands were trying to stop him from getting out. It quickly became clear that whatever was inside was not just haunting the house, it wanted to keep him there at any cost. So the question remains, was the house haunted by a restless spirit, or was something far more sinister trying to trap them? This video comes from a man who was home alone when he suddenly felt a creepy presence while scrolling on his phone in the living room. He could not get rid of the feeling that he was being watched, but he tried to convince himself it was just in his head. Then he spotted a figure standing at his window. He grabbed his phone to record it, but he could not capture the figure. What happened right after that left him completely terrified.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard I'm freaking out. There's something in this house with me. There's something in here. I'm telling you. No.
What begins as a video that seems paranoid quickly becomes far more disturbing. Objects in the kitchen suddenly move on their own, proving the man's uneasy feeling was real. Whatever is going on, he hopes to capture more of it on camera, but even if he cannot, at least this creepy moment was caught on video. On the Crypted IQ subreddit, a user named CandidPrime81577 shared a short video that has a lot of viewers split. The clip was posted with almost no context, but people quickly started debating what it actually shows. The footage seems to have been filmed near a rocky opening, possibly a cave, though the exact location was never shared. In the video, a strange figure slowly emerges from what looks like a cave entrance. It appears tall and thin, with long limbs and light-colored fur that looks almost white in some frames. Some viewers believe it could be a cryptid known as a dogman. What stands out is the way it moves. Its head and walking pattern look unnatural, but not like obvious CGI. Others argue the clip is too short and distant, and it could easily be a person in a costume or a staged setup. Still, many viewers say they cannot fully explain what they are seeing. A TikTok account called The Haunted Phone shared footage centered around a creepy black phone that seems to be haunted. The video begins with the uploader walking around his house when suddenly the phone starts ringing on its own. In a second video, the uploader takes the phone outside into a shed and starts taking it apart to figure out why it keeps ringing. But even after doing that, it still happens. Somehow, the phone is still ringing even though it is not connected to any power. It should not be possible, yet the small metal striker inside can be seen moving back and forth, physically ringing the bells even after the phone has been taken apart. What makes it so unsettling is that it is not just a sound. The mechanism is clearly moving on its own. Some believe something unseen could be manipulating it, while others argue it could be caused by old mechanical parts, tension, or vibrations. Either way, a dismantled phone ringing by itself is enough to leave most people disturbed and confused. Tristan and his cat moved into a new house, but soon after, strange things started happening. He believes a little girl's spirit may be haunting the home, and one night, while sitting in the living room with his cat, he experienced something he could not explain. When Tristan went to check the sound, the bathroom doorknob suddenly started shaking violently, like someone was trying to force their way out. He checked inside but found no one, so he ignored it and went back to the living room. The next night, while in his bedroom, he heard something in the hallway and started recording. What he captured convinced him the house is truly haunted. Later that night, faint footsteps echoed outside Tristan's bedroom, followed by the unsettling sound of a door creaking shut by itself. Moments later, a drawer slid open on its own, making it clear something strange was happening. Tristan said if it continues, he may have to move out. For now, the haunting remains unexplained. In 2016, a homeowner in Texas noticed his backyard gate was open and decided to check his security camera footage. What he saw was terrifying. A man dressed as a clown, holding a knife, was walking around the property. He even looked into the house and tried multiple doors, clearly trying to break in. When he could not get inside, the clown eventually left. The homeowner reported it to the police, but the person was never found. Even now, he is still shaken, worried the clown might come back. This TikTok video was posted by a user named Joseph Stalin Loves Shoe. In the clip, he stands in his yard describing something disturbing he says he spotted in the trees before he started filming. He explains he is about to put up a fence for his neighbor, and after seeing what he saw, he wants it done as soon as possible. As he moves closer, he stops and zooms in on a specific area in the trees, showing what caught his attention.
You see her? Look at that face. Oh my God. It's right there staring at me. Dude, how scary is that? Oh my God, dude. What the He's crawling through all this, bro.
A face can be seen peering through the branches. The figure appears to stare for several seconds before suddenly ducking out of sight. Later, the uploader shared a still image showing what he claims is a hand, making the situation feel even more unsettling. The real question is not whether someone was there, but who. It could have been a neighbor, or someone deliberately hiding and watching. Either way, the uploader says a fence is going up as soon as possible. This CCTV footage was recorded inside an office complex after hours, the kind of place that feels completely different once everyone has gone home. According to employees, what the cameras captured that night was so disturbing that several people even considered calling in sick the next day. The building was empty, no staff, no movement, just the cameras recording. At first, it is only a desk lamp flickering inside a dark room. Then suddenly, the entire room lights up for no clear reason. Seconds later, a set of desk drawers jerks open and slams shut. The lamp starts flickering again. More lights turn on, and a red door slowly begins to move by itself. The desk shifts once more, and the lights flicker again, like something is building up. But right before the door moves, something even stranger appears. A tall, dark shape stretching outward, not like any normal shadow in the room. So, was it just a bunch of electrical problems happening at the worst moment, or something else completely? Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments. A family lives near the old gypsum coal mines in the Appalachian region, in a house that has been passed down for generations. Most days it feels quiet and normal, but sometimes something feels wrong, and one afternoon, whatever else is in the house made itself known.
What'd you hear?
I heard a help or something.
On the back porch.
There's one back there.
Okay, hold on.
And then it's like I heard Lila's voice say it, and then I heard Dad just say, hey, and I didn't do anything about it, because I don't know.
Sissy's voice?
Yes. And then I heard some whistling.
I need you to, okay, all right. I'm going to stay upstairs because Gunner is freaked out. He's freaked out. All right. It was loud, and it was Lila.
I heard Dad's voice just say, hey.
Yeah. So there's two different voices on the back porch. I'm not opening the door. I am upstairs with Gunner right now. There's nobody out there, Michael. There's nobody out there.
Coming down the hill. I'm about to lose you. I'll be there in like a minute.
Okay. All right, I love you too. Bye.
Their young son suddenly hears his father calling for him, but his father is not home yet and is still on the way back. His mother tries to calm him down and does not open any doors or windows. Instead, she goes to get the dogs. But that is when she notices something strange, and before she can react, she hears something else.
Oh my God. Why is my door opening?
A voice clearly says, "Help." Moments later, the front door starts shaking violently, like someone is trying to break in, and then this happens.
Don't. Oh my gosh. Tay, Sarge, get over here, baby. Come on. My house is really dark. Look at dogs. Tays, leave her alone. They're all froze.
When she says, "Look at this," viewers notice something chilling in the background. A second voice can be heard whispering, "Don't look, they're mine." Some people blamed the dogs for the curtain moving, but others pointed out a pattern, a voice mimicking the father, the word help, the possessive phrase, "They're mine," and signs of forced entry like shaking doors and moving curtains. Later, another night, while her husband is still not home, she wakes up feeling like someone is standing in the living room.
Here. There's nobody out here. That was so nice. The kids are all in my room. That was my stomach.
At the beginning of the clip, a soft voice can be heard repeating, "Here, here, here, here." Over the next few nights, the same thing keeps happening. She hears something, searches the house, finds nothing, and eventually returns to bed.
It's so annoying. I was just about to fall back asleep.
None of this feels like a coincidence. It feels deliberate, consistent, and aware. And with the house sitting near old Appalachian mining land, it only makes it more unsettling, especially with the stories of entities that mimic loved ones to lure people in. So what do you think? Is the house haunted, or is something specifically after this family? On Reddit, a user named Cam Sun Kissed posted home security footage of a pizza delivery. What seemed like a normal drop-off quickly started to feel weird. A whisper can be heard in the background, but the delivery driver does not seem to notice. Some viewers believe it might be Spanish, possibly saying, "Do you hear me?" Whether that is accurate or not, the voice feels creepy. One thing is certain though, it is clearly a real voice, and nobody knows where it came from. A woman who has long claimed she hears phantom footsteps on her staircase finally catches something on camera, and what she records is not just strange, it is genuinely chilling. At At first, she only notices faint glowing orbs floating through the air, moving too slowly to be dust and too deliberately to feel like a coincidence. Night after night, the same thing happens again. Soft movement, quiet thuds on the stairs, and lights drifting as if they have a purpose. This continues for weeks, until one night, everything changes and it is no longer just footsteps and glowing orbs.
The stairs are going again.
Something begins creeping up the stairs, and then a chair in the corner slides across the floor by itself. That is when she realizes it is not just her imagination. Some believe it could be a spirit. Others think it is a lingering haunting trapped in time, or even the house replaying its past. Whatever it is, it starts getting worse, spreading beyond the staircase and disturbing her sleep. One night at exactly 2:47 a.m., a sound suddenly jolts her awake.
It's doing it. This noise is literally just woke me up from sleep. Walking in the kitchen.
Some investigators believe staircases can act like spiritual pathways, places where trapped energy gathers and shows itself. Others think it could be something darker, an entity mimicking footsteps to draw attention. But what disturbed viewers most was one detail. The footsteps did not sound human. The rhythm was uneven, like something trying to learn how to walk. Until more proof appears, the haunting remains a mystery, growing more terrifying each night. TikTok user United Warhouse says his friend Joe began hearing strange noises coming from his basement late at night. At first, Joe assumed it was something harmless, like a raccoon or small animal, but the sounds kept returning. So he set up a small camera downstairs to see what was causing it. One night, when the noises started again, he went down to retrieve the camera, and that is when something happened that immediately made his stomach drop.
I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in ghosts, and that includes me. All right, so this video was taken about 4 years ago, okay? And I'm not going to say whose video this is, but trust me, this person is just like me. Like, we don't believe in it. He kept hearing weird noises happening in his basement, and he didn't know why. Like, at first he thought it was like a raccoon in his basement making noises, must have been stuck in there or something. So one day he decided to put the camera down there to see if he could see what's making the noise. So he ends up putting the camera downstairs, and this is what he catches. This video right here, it is bananas, and it is the most important evidence to poltergeist, I believe, in history when it comes to actual footage. Okay, box falls. Ain't nothing big, ain't nothing serious. I don't know what's in that box. And I don't know what it's on, but it falls, okay? It ain't a big deal, right? Not a big deal. And I understand it's not. It looked like there's a little tension going on that box. Look at that. You see that? How it's tilting? It just snapped into place like that. Watch, it gets worse. That box is shaped like a diamond now. It's on the corner of the box, holding itself. You tell me how a box moves like that. It's impossible to make a box move like that. That's bananas. Let's run it back one more time and watch the stuff on the table now, okay? Watch all this stuff on the table. How many items just moved at once? 1, 2, 3, like 4 items on the table moves at once. Do they all go in on itself? Bro, they all kind of went in on itself. They got like closer together. But the most important, which I'm mad because it cuts out at the last second. So this is what happens. My friend Joe he's hearing stuff happening downstairs, okay? So he's like, go downstairs and grab the camera so I can see what it is. And at this time, he's not thinking ghosts. He's thinking of an animal in his basement, probably running around trying to figure out a way to escape. See, here he comes. He's coming downstairs. He was telling me it was mad weird. Right when he got down, like halfway down the stairs, he said like he felt something. He felt mad weird going downstairs. Like he was like, there's something wrong. So when he came downstairs to touch the camera, now what you guys want to do is look at the table again. Did you see that? Everything flew off the table. It happened so fast, but you can see it. You can see like this is obviously not there no more. It is not there no more. It flew off the table. And he said he heard it. He heard a big crash behind him and ran for his life back upstairs. Like this is insane. Look, he's off it. But all my life, all his life, we're like, you know, we were close our whole lives. We never expect there to be ghosts. We were kids trying to find ghosts at one time and never found ghosts, bud. Like by the time we're in our 20s, bro, ghosts, like you're a loser if you think ghosts are real. And then this happens. Insane, bud.
As Joe reached the bottom of the stairs, boxes started shifting by themselves, and objects on a nearby table began sliding across the surface. The noises grew louder, and Joe froze. Then, just before he could reach the camera, everything on the table suddenly flew off at once. Even now, neither Joe nor his friend can explain what was recorded. Jewel grew up in a family of morticians, so she says this career path was almost meant for her. Today, she works in a funeral home where most days feel calm and normal, but every so often, something strange happens. Sounds that do not fit, and moments that make her question what she just heard. One afternoon, she started filming a TikTok to talk about lesser-known parts of the funeral industry, and while the camera was recording, something happened that was impossible to ignore.
Hey you guys, we haven't made a video in a little while, so I just wanted to come on and kind of refresh everybody with just a little mortician tip here. I don't know if everybody's aware. Sometimes they're not aware that in order for the clothing to really fit properly, say it's too big, too small, we have to cut the back of the clothing in order to place it on your loved one. So sometimes if families request the favorite shirt back or, you know, their favorite set of whatever they have on, it will be cut. It's very rare, unless the clothing is perfectly fitted to that person, that the director won't have to cut it. I've worked in several funeral homes where they don't cut it, and it... Is anybody here?
No, what is it?
Here. Shh. Shh.
Time to go.
What?
Time to go.
We're the only ones here. I have to go look.
There's always been your videotape.
Okay, let's go.
A long, unsettling moan echoes through the building and stops Jewel in her tracks. She and her co-worker instantly look at each other, both clearly shaken, and quickly confirm they are completely alone. There is no laughter or confusion, just pure shock. Whatever made that sound was not expected and definitely not welcome. As Jewel starts to move to check where it came from, a sudden loud bang slams from deeper inside the building.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
Jewel later said incidents like this happen far more often than most people would believe, and with her working in a place surrounded by the dead, it feels even more disturbing. She added that she has learned to carry on through the strange sounds and unexplained moments, but no matter how long she has been there, it never stops feeling unsettling. Nate, who has been filming the strange presence around his basement for a while, noticed things felt different one night. His dog began acting unusually anxious, walking in circles, whining, and repeatedly looking toward the kitchen as if it sensed danger. Nate tried to ignore it at first, but then the dog suddenly rushed out of the kitchen and ran straight to the couch. It stopped there, locked in place, staring toward the kitchen without moving an inch.
Alright guys, so the dog was freaking out. She was trying to alert me to something in the kitchen. She started walking into the kitchen. She got to about right by the basement, and then something spooked her because she yelped and ran onto the couch and has been sitting here ever since, watching over at that spot. What'd you see? What is it? Tell Daddy. What'd you see? Where is it? Guys, always trust your guts. She got to like right here. Nothing in here. She is like following something. I don't know what she saw. Alright, I'm not sure what that was. No way. No way. I do not want you here. You are not allowed here.
Animals do not overthink what they feel, and dogs do not react like that for no reason. And what happens next is what really changes everything. Up until now, Nate's situation had mostly been small stuff. Whispers, quick movements, things shifting a little. That is why people thought it might be a woman's spirit, but this time it went too far. A knife was thrown. That one moment made everyone rethink the whole thing, because something trying to communicate does not usually get violent. So, is it the same presence from before, or something much worse? Things have been quiet lately, but in cases like this, quiet does not always mean it is over. Sometimes it means something is building up. While they were waiting for the rest of the guests to arrive, a few of them stepped outside to pass the time, messing around and playing games in the yard. Everything felt totally normal, until one of them spotted something out in the dark.
What?
For a split second, something appears in the dark. It is big, shadowy, and clearly has horns. It was close enough to be seen, and it made everyone freeze. The party ended immediately, and everyone went home and locked their doors. After the video went viral, people were divided, some saying it was a prank, others claiming they had seen similar horned figures before, but no one ever came forward to take credit, so whatever it was remains unexplained. Around 3 a.m., a homeowner woke up with a strange, uneasy feeling and decided to check her Ring camera app, but what she saw completely terrified her. A human-like figure appeared in the footage, seeming to drift forward before suddenly vanishing into thin air, and even if it was just a camera glitch, it somehow feels even more disturbing because no one should have been in her garden at that hour. Reddit user No Variety. 578 shared a video on the Paranormal Encounter subreddit showing security camera footage from a department store in Chile. At first, everything looks quiet, but within seconds, a very tall, shadowy figure appears walking down a staircase before suddenly vanishing. With little context, it is hard to know what it truly is. Some believe it could be a real apparition caught on CCTV, while others think it may be caused by a camera glitch, low frame rate, or video compression, making someone appear to fade out. Either way, the sight of such a towering figure disappearing in an empty store is deeply unsettling. The homeowners were just doing something normal. They were in the garage feeding their cat, and everything seemed fine. No weird sounds, no bad feelings, nothing unusual. But later, when they watched the footage back, they realized something else had been there with them the whole time.
Buddy.
At first, many viewers dismissed it as a reflection, but there is an important detail to notice. In the daytime view of the garage, there is no window in that area, no glass, and nothing reflective that could create a figure like that. The space shown is where the car was parked in the original clip, and the red circle marks the exact spot where the strange shape appeared. Some believe it could be a leftover presence, like energy repeating itself. Others pointed to the cat's behavior, saying it seemed to sense something the homeowners did not. Skeptics still argue it could be lightning or a camera glitch. The homeowners say they have never experienced anything unusual before, but after seeing this, they cannot stop thinking about it. Was it just a glitch caught at the right moment, or something that has been there all along? In March 2025, a TikTok user named Emily Dell kept hearing strange noises outside her door, so she decided to start recording. When she looked outside, no one was there. In a follow-up video, it was the same thing, an empty doorway, but the strange noises kept going.
Let me in! And this is why I can't call the cops, because when I go to look, there's no one there. I know it's hard to see, but I'm not opening the door. There's like no one out there, and like, this is a window. There's no people, but this is a window, and you can really see out there. It's hard to see. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
Whatever it was, it left Emily seriously shaken. A woman named Jennifer lives in a historic house built in 1907 filled with old antiques and keepsakes. Not long after moving in, she started hearing light footsteps when she was alone, whispers coming from empty rooms, and objects shifting when she was not looking. She also began seeing shadows that lingered instead of disappearing quickly. Jennifer contacted several mediums, and they all claimed they sensed children in the home. One night, when the noises grew louder, she started recording on her phone to find out what was happening.
Okay, I'm upstairs, and the cracking was just me standing here. However, did you hear the sound after that? Because I'm a little freaked out. Because of course I'm home alone. And I'm scared. I'm gonna sit here and listen. See what I get. I just saw an orb. I saw an orb in the dining room across where the mediums have seen the children. And per usual, here's my sidekick making sure I'm okay. The innkeeper. Magnolia. I feel like I'm hearing like a faint music being played. And do you see that? Maybe it's just the shining from the lights. Just seems like something's in there right now. Walk down and see. Oh my God, what was that? Okay. I'm going over here. That was a big noise. That could not have been from the cat. She's still sitting there. Look at the mist around her right now, and she's looking. Oh boy.
What Jennifer learned later made the situation even darker. After talking to a local historian, she found out that when the house was built, there were no hospitals nearby, and it is believed that at least 4 people died inside the home. Deaths that may have happened under intense emotional stress, whether what she captured was leftover energy, spirits, or something more aware. One thing is clear, the house may still be holding on to its past. A woman took a mirror selfie in a hospital bathroom after making sure all the stalls were empty, but later, she noticed someone in the reflection, leaning out from one of the stalls like they were watching her, even though it was the same stall she had just checked. She swears she was alone, but the photo tells a different story. Some people call it a ghost, others think it is fake, but either way, it is seriously unsettling. Ghost hunters Dachan and Gachan from the YouTube channel Clipstore head deep into the remote forests of Japan to investigate a notorious ghost apartment that has been abandoned for 30 years. The building became infamous after a conflict between a female tenant and the male owner ended with the woman taking her own life and the owner disappearing soon after. Following the tragedy, tenants reported hearing voices, seeing a shadowy woman, and hearing strange sounds from empty rooms. Eventually, everyone moved out, leaving the building to rot in silence. When Dachan and Gachan arrive, they begin exploring, and as Gachan enters the landlord's room, something terrifying unfolds.
ほら、オーナー男性って言ってたでしょ。これ、どう考えても離れってもうオーナー宅じゃないっていう、だからちょっとお互いその見つけた部屋を調査する。何の音今の？え？何の音？
どうした？もしもし？
誰？
Gachan hears a moan from inside the room and spots a woman staring at him from the second floor. Shocked, he runs upstairs to check, but the moment he steps in, everything takes a dark turn.
大ちゃん、ちょっとこっち向かっててもらっていい？
ああ、分かった。
すみません。すみません。
Gachan reaches the second floor, he notices an old vanity table and looks into the mirror. To his shock, he sees the feet of a woman standing behind him. He quickly turns around with the camera, but she has vanished. Panicked, he runs out of the room, struggling to understand what just happened. Moments later, Dachan arrives and finds him shaking in fear. They decide to end the stream right away. Late one night, a man woke up suddenly after noticing movement in his room. Freaked out, he grabbed his phone and quickly snapped a photo. The image was blurry, but something strange still showed up. He says he does not own any masks or props that could explain what appeared. And what makes it even weirder is that these disturbances always seem to happen around 4 a.m. Even now, he cannot explain what his camera caught that night. One evening in Tennessee, a man was standing in his front yard when he noticed something strange. A blue light started glowing high in the clouds, pulsing over and over in the same spot. At first, he thought it might be storm-related, but the longer he watched, the more it looked like there was a saucer-shaped outline inside the clouds. He tried to record it, but the video was too unclear to show any real details. To this day, there has been no official explanation for what he saw. Late one night, a man went back to his studio after realizing he had forgotten his phone charger. It was supposed to be a quick trip, but as soon as he reached the entrance, something felt wrong. What happened next turned a simple return into something much more unsettling.
¿Qué les dije? ¿Qué les dije a la verga? Miren, voy a entrar. Miren, para que vean que no hay nadie adentro. Todo en una toma. Ay, perdón con mis 20,000 vueltas, pero es una llave de seguridad. Miren. O sea, no ha salido nadie, miren. No mames.
He says the studio has not felt right ever since he moved an old mirror into the bathroom. Soon after, small things started happening. Objects were not where he left them. Strange noises filled the space, and even when he was alone, he felt like something else was there. But viewers also noticed a doll inside the studio, and some believe the mirror was not the real cause, just what triggered whatever was already there. So is the mirror the doorway, the doll, the vessel, or is the studio itself connected to something that is only now showing itself? In 1976, investigators placed an infrared camera inside the Amityville house. It automatically took dozens of photos, and most of them showed nothing unusual, but one image stood out. In what seemed like an empty hallway, a small boy appeared behind the banister with glowing eyes. He looked similar to John Matthew DeFeo, a child who was killed there in 1974 by his brother, Ronald DeFeo Jr. The strange part is that the boy never showed up in any other frame. Some people say it was a hoax, while others believe it was proof of a spirit still trapped inside the house. This footage was recorded inside a man's studio, a place that had already seemed strange before this video was made. One night, after forgetting his phone charger, he went back to get it and saw something quickly move behind the blinds. But when he went inside, there was nothing there. Then, around 5 a.m., his uncle called and said the bathroom door had been making noise all night, so he went back early that morning to check, and this is what he found.
Miren. Miren cómo se abre la persiana. Dicen un hilo. ¿Cómo puede hacer un hilo a eso? Sinceramente, miren. Miren. No me chingues. No me chingues. No, eso ya. No, espérate. No, ya me tengo que ir. Es muy temprano para estas chingaderas. Miren, o sea, dicen un hilo. Ah, chinga tu madre, a ver cuál hilo puede abrir y cerrar así de lado a lado. Miren cómo se mueve de aquí y de allá. Miren.
The blinds were moving again, slowly and on their own. After gathering the courage, he walked inside and searched the whole studio, checking every room and corner, convinced someone might be hiding.
Miren. Lo que se alcanza a ver es... ¿Escucharon? Yo oí como una risa.
There were no signs of a break-in, no open windows, and nothing looked forced or damaged. But then he heard something else: laughter. When viewers rewatched the footage, many focused on the bathroom mirror, believing mirrors can attract strange activity. Some think whatever peeked through the blinds that night did not enter the studio because it was already inside. Others believe the moving blinds and bathroom noises suggest something was trying to get attention without fully showing itself. And the laughter unsettled people the most because it sounded deliberate. So, was it just a prank? One night, a woman's home camera recorded a pale, fog-like shape moving across her yard from right to left. She uploaded the clip online and said she could not help but wonder if it was her father, who had recently passed away. The figure moved slowly and quietly, almost like someone walking. Some viewers say it was just smoke or a trick of the light, but she believes it was a sign that she is not alone. The pictures were posted by a TikTok account called malmal.62 after a camping trip to Dry Fork Canyon in Utah's Ashley National Forest. The person who uploaded them said they grew up around there and that the area has always felt a little off. Their campsite was also only about 30 meters from Skinwalker Ranch, which made it even creepier. They set up 2 trail cameras near their tent to watch for wildlife, and on the second night around 3:50 a.m., the camera closest to the tent, only about 5 feet away, captured something strange. The figure looked human-shaped, but not completely like a normal person. Not knowing what it was, they posted the images on Reddit for people to analyze. They said if it was paranormal, that was scary, but if it was an actual person standing that close in the middle of the night, that would be even worse. Either way, the idea that something was just a few feet away while they were sleeping is terrifying. While visiting the Andrew Lowe house in Savannah, someone took 2 photos inside the upstairs nursery where a porcelain doll was sitting as part of the display. Both pictures were taken only moments apart on an iPhone 12 Pro with no flash and no live mode. But later, when they compared the images, something creepy stood out. The doll's face looked different in each one, almost like its expression had changed. Was it just a camera trick or something much more unsettling? A Reddit user was riding a train late one night when something he saw instantly freaked him out. Just 2 seats away, someone wearing a creepy costume sat completely still, staring right at him. Luckily, nothing happened, and it was probably just someone heading to a Halloween party. But still, running into something like that on a late-night train is seriously unsettling. This video was shared on the UFO subreddit by a user named CDS456. It was recorded in Trinity, North Carolina on August 7th, 2025, around 10:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by a man named Giorgio. The clip is only 8 seconds long, but it shows a white dot sitting still in the sky before suddenly speeding out of frame in an instant. The sudden burst of speed has led some people to believe it could be something unexplained, while others think it may be CGI due to the short length and lack of details. Either way, it has sparked plenty of debate. On Halloween night in 2020, a homeowner got an alert from their doorbell camera while they were away. Someone had rung the bell 5 times, but the strange part was that the camera never caught anyone walking up to the house. It was almost like the person just showed up out of nowhere. Later, the original video was gone from the security app, and only a screenshot from the phone was left behind. But that screenshot made the whole thing feel even creepier. To this day, no one knows who came to the door or how they vanished without leaving a trace. A woman was at work when she received a motion alert and checked her doorbell footage. At first, everything looked normal. A flower pot on the porch filled with fresh flowers. But behind it, partly hidden in the shadows, something was unsettling. A pale, human-like figure stood facing the house, completely still and silent. She has always claimed strange things have happened around her home, but actually seeing something like that on camera was genuinely terrifying. This footage was recorded inside a family home after several nights of strange things happening outside. Night after night, they heard footsteps near their windows, slow and steady, like someone was walking around the house. At first, they tried to ignore it, thinking it could be an animal or a neighbor, but it kept happening, always late at night and always close. Then one night, the mother called the police. While waiting for them to arrive, the footsteps got closer, and then there was knocking, so she grabbed her phone and started recording.
Ya le hablé a la policía. Y ahorita va a venir. Tráeme un palo, Regina. Tráeme algo, tráeme algo. Va a venir ahorita la policía. Corre. ¿A qué estás molestando aquí? Ya te habías ido. ¿Qué quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A Regina o a quién quieres?
¿Cómo que a mí?
¿A quién quieres? Vete de aquí. Vete de aquí. Se paró. ¿Quién chingados eres? ¿Quién te mandó?
By the time the officer showed up, everything had stopped. No footsteps, no knocking, and no one outside. The house was completely quiet, and the only proof that anything happened was the video she recorded. After it went online, viewers noticed something disturbing. The footsteps did not seem random. They sounded repetitive, like someone was walking the same path again and again, as if they knew the area. Whatever was out there did not seem lost, and with no clear explanation, the footage is still unsettling. A woman spent the night in an Airbnb, and the moment she arrived, she felt something was off. The place was old, creepy, and had a weird atmosphere. Then she spotted a terrifying doll, one that did not just have one face, but three. Every time its head turned, it showed a different expression, smiling, crying, or sleeping. She could not stop thinking about it, wondering if it might turn on its own when she was not looking. By the next morning, she was too scared to even check if the expression had changed, so she avoided looking at it and left. A woman took a photo of her husband praying with their son, but something in the background completely changed the mood. In the picture, they noticed what looked like a big dog or wolf with glowing red eyes. Their actual dog was locked in a crate, and there were no red lights in the room. The window behind them only faced another wall inside the house, so it could not have been an outside reflection either. They even considered pareidolia, but the figure looked way too clear. They still have no explanation for what showed up in that photo. A young man came home around 1 a.m. and stood outside the door. His family checked their Ring camera to confirm it was really him, but they also asked who he was with. Confused, he said he was alone, but when they replayed the footage, it looked like a faint figure was standing right behind him. Later on, the family remembered that a homeless man had died near their home, and they started wondering if the figure could have been his ghost. A woman was home alone when her doorbell rang. She opened the door right away, but no one was there. Later, when she checked the footage, the camera had caught a single frame showing two pale, blurry figures. She sent the image to her friends, thinking they might be messing with her, but they were at home and ended up just as scared. The house already had a history of creepy stuff happening, like footsteps, doors opening and slamming, and even her hair being pulled when no one was nearby. Seeing that picture only made her fear worse. Late at night during heavy rain, someone took a photo of a backyard playground for an art project. He lived there and knew the area well, but later, while looking at the picture, he noticed something unsettling. In the background, partly hidden by the rain and darkness, a human-like figure seems to be standing there. Some say it looks like a man in old-fashioned clothes, while others think it is just a shadowy illusion caused by the rain and low light. The photographer insists no one else was outside and no one should have been in the backyard. What the photo really captured remains unknown. A woman in the Philippines shared footage of a disturbing thing happening at her home. Every night, right at 1 a.m., someone would knock on her door. The knocking was loud, non-stop, and impossible to ignore. Too scared to open the door, she stayed inside and only recorded the sound. Looking for answers, she posted the footage online, and everyone kept asking the same question: who was knocking, and why did it happen every night at the same time? The next night, she decided to check for herself, and at 1 a.m., the knocking started again. She slowly opened the curtains and saw an elderly woman outside, wearing ripped clothes, crouched down, and holding a stick. Before she could react, the woman suddenly turned and walked away. The police were called and searched the area, but they found no one and no evidence that anyone had been there. To this day, there is still no explanation for who was knocking on her door every night. A Reddit user hosted a Halloween party and finally went to bed around 3 a.m., but as he got into bed, he felt something pressing under the sheets. When he lifted the covers, he was stunned to find a small wooden cross tied with twine. He questioned all of his guests, but no one confessed to putting it there. Even now, he has no clue who left it in his bed or what the reason was. A man in a quiet neighborhood began noticing unusual behavior coming from the house next door. The neighbor had a history of mental illness, and as time passed, things seemed to get worse. The man kept hearing disturbing noises next door, grunting and shouting, and it became clear his neighbor was struggling. Worried for his safety, he called the police. When officers went inside, they found the neighbor had died from self-harm. After the body was laid to rest, the house was left empty. But a few days later, the man saw a figure standing in the same window where he had seen his neighbor before and started recording. As the camera filmed, the figure moved. To this day, he has no explanation for what he saw or why something appeared in that window after the house was supposed to be vacant. One evening, a homeowner got a weird alert from their doorbell camera saying someone was at the front door. At first, it seemed normal, maybe a neighbor or the mailman. But when they checked the footage, what showed up was anything but normal. A strange figure appeared to be floating there, dressed in something that looked like a cloak. The camera only caught it in a single frame, so it was hard to tell what it really was. Maybe it was just a glitch, an optical illusion, or even a bird flying past. But either way, it looked seriously creepy. While looking through their Christmas photos, the grandmother noticed something no one had seen at the time. Outside the backyard window, a figure appeared, tall and human-like, standing close to the glass. It looked like it was wearing something similar to a white robe. It did not seem like a reflection or a shadow. It looked like someone was actually standing there. The grandmother became shaken because she believed the figure looked like her late husband, appearing the way he did when he was younger. He had passed away many years before the photo was taken. The image left the family disturbed, unsure if it was a real person outside, a lighting trick, or something from the past showing itself. In 2019, a Reddit user and a friend decided to explore an abandoned hospital and made their way up to the attic roof. Everything felt silent and empty, and nothing seemed unusual as they moved through the building. The user took a photo of their friend, and at the time, they thought they were completely alone. But later, while scrolling through the pictures, they noticed something disturbing. A figure appeared standing behind the friend. They had not seen it at all in the moment. Now they cannot help but wonder if someone was secretly following them, or if something paranormal was still lurking inside the hospital. A Reddit user was cleaning a newly bought house when he found an old SD card. When he checked it, he discovered photos of the basement, but the images were disturbing. Small, eerie figures were placed across the floor and along the walls, posed as if they were crawling out of holes and climbing up pillars. Some Reddit users suggested it could have been an art project or a stop-motion setup, but many agreed it looked extremely unsettling, either a creepy obsession or something ritualistic. Either way, it is easy to see why the discovery felt terrifying. A Reddit user uploaded a photo from his co-worker's doorbell camera. The only information shared was that the co-worker lives in rural South Carolina, with no real backstory beyond that. They posted it online, hoping someone could explain the eerie, unnatural-looking creature caught on camera. So far, no one has a clear answer, and it does not look like any animal people recognize. A family was traveling around Europe and took a few fun photos to remember the trip. Everything looked normal at first, until they got home and started going through the pictures. In one shot, a strange figure appeared on the left side, something nobody noticed while taking the photo. And it was not even present in the picture taken just seconds earlier. The discovery left them feeling uneasy, wondering who or what had quietly appeared in their family memory. The figure even looks oddly familiar. Could it have been edited in? Kevin, the host of the channel, is known for camping in small hidden spots in unusual places like urban or restricted areas, and he always goes all in especially during spooky season. In this challenge, he starts off saying he is skeptical and does not really believe in ghosts, but this time, he picked a location that could test anyone's nerves: Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, New York, a massive 200-acre cemetery with over 350,000 people buried there, including famous figures like Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass. Even though he claimed he did not believe, Kevin still openly challenged the spirits of the cemetery, something he would soon regret. His goal was to camp alone in a small patch of woods near the maintenance area, and the whole thing began with a tense sneak-in through the open maintenance gates where a security camera was already watching.
Going up to the maintenance area now, the first thing I notice is a camera right there. So I'm just gonna like walk past it, you know? Like nothing ever happened. I don't see anybody. The gate was open. All right, well, there's the shaft. How about that? Some kind of like break area? Cool. It's actually pretty nice. Okay, so I'm officially back in the maintenance area. There's like a break area for maintenance people. And you know, there's like remnants of maybe when the cemetery extended over here. There's concrete benches, some planters. Very interesting. You got some bales of hay, so you can just be all like, hey. Another old planter. Not really doing too much with plants. Oh, there's underwear in there. What do you think they're trying to grow? So this is an extremely urban location. The cemetery is squarely in the city. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for other people that may have this exact idea, but more long term. So there's stuff like this. Just a spool. Just a giant spool used as a makeshift table.
The cemetery, which has been around since 1838, is right next to the city, so it feels extremely urban. Kevin eventually found a small flat spot to pitch his tent, only about 10 feet away from the graves and headstones. His biggest concern was not ghosts, but getting caught by real people like groundskeepers or staff who might be walking around at night. And once the sun started setting, the place became a lot more active.
I guess now is the time for people to be using that path, walking through the cemetery. Saw a guy on his bike. There's a couple walking their dog. We're about an hour away from sunset, so kind of, I guess, prime dog walking hours. And they're just walking. I can hear them talking. I was just about to set up my sleeping pad with the pump. There's like squirrels and chipmunks running around in the leaves. I think that's what I'm hearing now. There's a ton of them. There's like dozens, hundreds. But I was just about to blow up my sleeping pad. I think I'm going to wait to do that now, considering this is apparently when people want to walk right by my camp. Yeah, tons of chipmunks, tons of squirrels, everywhere. This place is riddled with them. I've been hearing them since I got here. So this cemetery was originally built because there was a massive cholera outbreak in Rochester back in the 1800s. And there were just so many people that died all at once that they had to put them somewhere. And so here it was.
Kevin saw couples walking their dogs and a man metal detecting nearby. The woods were also packed with animals, with chipmunks and squirrels everywhere and deer showing up often. To pass the time, he talked about the cemetery's dark history, saying it was founded after a major cholera outbreak in the 1800s. He also mentioned the story of Frederick Keisenberry, a man who died during a failed Arctic trip and is buried there. He brought up local ghost stories too, like a phantom jogger who disappears and the sound of laughing children. But once night came, the atmosphere shifted, and after eating hot dogs, Kevin started hearing strange noises he could not explain.
Still don't know what that was that I just heard. It was just like tick, 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 something just continuously happening on the other side of this tent. Not really sure what that was. I wish I could get more footage of the cemetery and everything, but even despite the fact that it's like one way, maybe, despite the fact that it was one day away, that it's 1 day away from a full moon, it's too dark. Yeah, well, like I said, middle of the city, so I can't get the graveyard like I was hoping. I'm trying so hard to catch the almost full moon good enough to hit some gravestones or something, but yeah, and it's tough. I can't really leave and go walk around the graveyard as much as I'm sure people are probably hoping that I'm doing that. I know you can't really see it. There's something in the cemetery making like a, I know this is gonna sound stupid, but like a bone clattering sound, like tick, 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 tick. Like somebody has like a bunch of sticks in a wagon or something.
He suddenly heard a sound coming from the cemetery that reminded him of bones clattering, like sticks rattling in a wagon. He tried to brush it off, thinking it might just be a deer rubbing its antlers, but it still sounded way too clear and creepy, like something was being dragged or moved around near the graves. Then he heard a whistle, which confirmed he was definitely not alone out there. But honestly, what scared him most was not the paranormal. It was the fear of getting caught, and around 6:30 a.m., right before sunrise, his biggest fear finally became real.
I don't want to see that right now. That's most likely the workmen arriving for the day. It's like 6:30. Oh my god, there's just a vehicle over there. I'm screwed. I gotta go.
Kevin was already awake when he saw the trees light up from a car's headlights and instantly realized he was in trouble. He quickly started packing everything up inside his tent, trying not to make noise on the dry leaves. He could not crush any cans without being too loud, so he had to leave behind his trash and tent stakes for later. He escaped through his planned backup route and made it to the sidewalk, barely missing a worker unlocking the main gate. He got away without being caught, but the experience shook him so badly that even though he still claims he does not believe in ghosts, he decided he would never stealth camp in a cemetery again. Kevin from the Bell Explorers channel is known for exploring weird, empty places, often linked to history and ghost stories. This time, though, was different because the video, filmed around Halloween 2024, was his first ever solo camp. On October 30th, 2024, he went to Dungeness, a bleak and remote area known for its strange landscape and haunted reputation. The place is so desolate that almost nothing grows there except a small patch of woods. To set the mood, Kevin shared a local story about a ghost fisherman who scared a man so badly he snapped his fishing rods and drove off. After dealing with bugs near the still water, he managed to set up a simple tent. He admitted the scenery was beautiful, but also said it felt really eerie being there alone. As the sun went down, he started telling a true story from his younger days to pass the time.
I was about 17 years old, 17. I was on my motorbike, so I had a Suzuki RG 125 Gamma. I absolutely loved that thing. It used to go like stink for a 125. 100 miles an hour I could get out of that on a 125. It was brilliant. Anyway, I worked for a company. I won't say any names or anything like that. I worked for a company, and I was working on a church. I won't tell you what church it was. I was working on a church, And what we was doing was, well, it was me on my own, digging out trench through the graveyard, because we had to put in drainage, because there was you know, there was a lot of flooding and stuff like that, so we needed some drainage in there. So I decided to put in a 4-inch drain pipe with a gully which would take all the water from the roof of the church, and dig a trench all the way down to the dike. And anyway, it was one sort of evening I was there digging along. I dug up a lot of bones, actually. I've got pictures somewhere on one of my cameras. I dug up a hell of a lot of bones. I even dug up a jawbone with all the teeth in it. There was like 2 teeth missing, but the rest of them were all still intact. It was quite exciting, freaky but exciting. You know, it's not something you normally see as like a human jawbone. I apologise about that, guys. There's a guy walking around, and I didn't want to be filming in front of him. He had 2 dogs. I didn't want to spook the dogs, so let's get on with the story. So, where do we go from here?
He said he dug up a lot of bones, including a human jawbone with most of the teeth still intact. One evening, he saw a man walking around the church wearing a long black hooded cape and holding a stick shaped like a shepherd's crook. The figure walked into the middle of the field and just stood there. But when Kevin looked away for a moment and looked back, the man was gone. Later, someone told him it sounded like the Grim Reaper, which scared him so badly he left his tools behind and sped off on his motorbike. By 10:45 p.m., he was back in his tent, saying it felt eerie and completely silent.
Right, guys, we're in the tent. It's getting a bit creepy outside. I thought I heard a few noises here and there, but I'll just put it down to animals, I think, because you know, it's a bit nasty out there. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm gonna, because there's not a lot else I can do, I think I'm gonna get my head down, because it's now 11:30. So what was that? Did you hear that, guys? What's that? What's that noise? It sounded close to the tin. I've got to go out and inspect that, guys. Got to go out and inspect it. Oh, I'll go and check that out, guys. Got to go and check that out, because that wasn't very nice. That sounded a bit close to the tent. Can't see anything, guys. I haven't heard the noise since.
He tried to explain the earlier noises as animals, but around 11, things started feeling more intense. He heard a clear, loud sound and immediately asked, "What was that?" He had to step out of his tent to check the area, but he could not see anything. He admitted that camping alone felt way more sketchy and creepy than he expected. Then, at 2:04 a.m., a sudden new loud noise jolted him violently.
What was that, guys? Someone out there. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm gonna have to go out there. What's going on? I'm gonna have to grow some and go out there. I really don't want to. That was... That's shaking me up, guys. That's really shaking me up. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm gonna have to go out and check it out. I really don't want to. I can't see nothing. Let's put it down there, guys.
He heard what sounded like someone walking up to his tent, and it instantly freaked him out. The noise felt so real that he panicked and said, "I can't do this," convinced there was an actual person out there and he was not alone anymore. So he decided to bail right away. At 2:04 a.m., he was so scared he left without even packing up his tent. He ran off with his head torch on, saying he was not turning it off because he needed to see who was around him. He even grabbed a big rock and kept it in his pocket just in case.
I ain't hanging around here, guys. I've left my tent. I didn't pack it up in the end. I'm sorry about the head torch. I'm not turning that off. I'm not turning the head torch off. I need to see where I'm going and who's around me. Because, this isn't very nice, guys. This really isn't very nice. I don't know what the hell that thing was that come down on me. Must have been a person. Must have been. I don't see any explanation. One thing's for sure, I don't think I'm going to be doing this again. I even picked up a big stone in my pocket just in case. I'm not happy.
Kevin's first solo camping trip went completely wrong. After everything that happened, from the creepy atmosphere to that strange hooded figures and the intense noises later at night, he was genuinely shaken. By the end, he was done with it and made it clear he had no plans to ever camp alone again. Roaming Reckless follows a solo traveler and her dog, Tazzy, as they go on truck camping and overland trips in quiet, remote places. She's really into conspiracy theories, especially anything related to Sasquatch, so she chose to explore the North Georgia mountains, a region famous for Bigfoot sightings. This trip came with two big problems: staying in an area known for sightings and calming Tazzy down since he gets extremely scared during thunderstorms. The whole trip started in pouring rain, and she ended up stopping at an REI to grab a thunder shirt for him because he was already nervous.
Come on, kid. I know. You gotta go potty quick? Emphasis on quick? No? Okay. No pets allowed. Let's see if they'll let us. Be discreet, be discreet, be discreet. Oh my gosh, it's not so. It's okay, Jazzy. Ready to make a run for it, kid. Good job, kiddo. I know. It's crazy out there.
So it's good to know. Tazi is good with rain and lightning. It's just the thunder that freaks her out. Definitely getting some exposure. We're just getting chased around by lightning, child. Oh, honey, I know. Wrap you tightly. She falls over. Tazi, oh my gosh. What are you doing, girl? Where's your survival instinct? You're like a fainting goat. You gotta get up, get up.
She mentioned that Tazi does not really mind rain or lightning, but thunder completely scares her. To help calm her down, she put on the thunder shirt, which works by applying gentle, steady pressure. Even with the heavy rain, she still went to the Expedition Bigfoot Museum, and she was instantly shocked by how much evidence was there.
By Bigfoot Hunter, 1970s Florida skunk ape expeditions. Video footage. Look at that. That's crazy. Bite marks were molar-like. There's a working research laboratory right here. Sasquatch hair DNA compared to human hair DNA. Look at that. Missing person reports. Look at all of those. I didn't expect so much proof, like DNA proof. Sasquatch proof. They're real. Can't convince me otherwise. They have a map of Georgia with colored pegs on it, and it's all differentiated by first-hand encounters, returning Sasquatch encounters, and then yellow pegs are when it wasn't clearly seen. Up here were all the concentrated green first-hand sightings and pink indicating returning encounters. That's where our campsite is tonight. Like, we are in the thick of Sasquatch country. Bigfoot eats dogs? Okay. Taz isn't going anywhere. Poor girl is terrified of thunderstorms, and now she's gonna be a target for Bigfoot too. What?
At the museum, she came across bite mark evidence, missing person reports, and a lab that compares human hair DNA with supposed Sasquatch hair. A map covered in colored pins showed repeated sightings, and it confirmed their campsite was right in the middle of the activity. After hearing that Bigfoot is believed to eat dogs, she got even more worried about Tazi. She then drove her Ineos Grenadier into the Chattahoochee National Forest and found a pull-off spot along a forest road that showed signs of past campers. The fog and heavy rain made the whole area feel creepy, which she thought was perfect for Sasquatch country. While the rain was lighter, she let Tazi run around in the mud, then started making dinner using the Sasquatch-themed silverware she had bought.
That might have been too much. Might have been too much. Honestly, I am so lucky that I bought this at that store because I just realized I have absolutely no silverware. Yeah, so I would have been screwed. I would have been eating dinner with my bare hands had I not purchased Sasquatch silverware. Got lucky with that one. Yeah. That's my girl. Look at you. I'm really glad that we are gonna have like an hour or two of light rain because sometimes you have to camp in bad weather, right? Like right now I can't avoid these thunderstorms. I can't get out of it, but it's nice when your dog doesn't have to be stuck in the truck. Yeah, because you need to stretch your legs. It's your God-given right. gonna leave this stuff out because I might make coffee later. Yes, I know. Coffee before bed. You shouldn't do that. But I do have work to do tonight, so why not? Get out of the rain, kiddo. Yeah.
She checked the forecast and saw that the worst part of the storm, including lightning, was expected to hit around midnight and last until about 4 a.m. As the night went on, the campsite started feeling more and more unsettling. With the storm getting closer, she got her gear ready and watched Bigfoot documentaries to distract herself. When the rain stopped for about 5 minutes, she quickly took Tazzy out on a leash to go potty, worried he might run off in the storm or end up in danger.
Anyways, while the rain is light, we should let Tazzy go potty. And doing that on leash because we never know how she's gonna feel in the storm. And we won't let her be Bigfoot food. Right, girl? You wanna go potty? Let's go potty outside. It's potty time, Mama. Here we go. Oh my gosh, talk about the creepiest campsite ever. You guys, how creepy is this? I don't want to go home here, but I have to. This is scary. Let's go. Come on. Gotta be quick. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Go potty. Good girl. Good job, Mama. Alright, come on. Up here. That was like a horror video game. That's what that felt like. Oh my gosh. I'm like triple check we're locked in.
She stepped out into the foggy woods and immediately freaked out because it felt like something out of a horror game. Not long after, the thunder started, so she put the thunder shirt on Tazzy and played a Bigfoot documentary to drown out the noise. The storm got really loud around 3 a.m., but they made it through the night, and the thunder shirt helped keep Tazzy calm. By morning, she drove out through thick fog and felt like the trip went well overall. Katie Realms is a YouTube channel where Katie shares her solo outdoor adventures, including camping, bushcraft, and cozy overnight trips. She is known for building shelters and cooking over a campfire. On this trip, she planned to set up a simple tarp near a lake, but things changed when she unexpectedly found a small bushcraft hut instead.
Today is going to be a little bit different. I was going to set up a tarp shelter around this very, very pretty lake, but I've just stumbled across this. Very cool little bushcraft hut. And I think I'm going to try and stay inside it. I don't know. It's really cool. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try and stay inside. I've got my tarp as a ground sheet now, so I can lay that out. I don't know. I'm going to give it a go. Let's figure this out. Right, well, this is a sitting area. Actually, what am I doing? Let me take my bag off. I'm here to stay. Let's take this off. Right. This is so nice. I'm definitely gonna try and stay here. Right, so that's my living room. Let me show you my house. Whoa. Well, it clearly needs a little bit of a clean inside, but I reckon I could actually stay here. It looks really cool, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna clean it up and see how I feel. Time to get down to business.
The hut already had a built-in seating spot and a fire pit, so it felt like the perfect campsite. She decided on the spot to stay there and was excited because it was like finding a small, ready-made shelter. After cleaning it up a bit, she used her tarp to cover the raised platform and turned it into a dry, cozy sleeping area. Since it was already after 7:30 p.m., she moved on to making dinner using the fire pit, but then noticed she had forgotten fire lighters and silver birch.
Okay, so I have been a bit of a silly individual and I've forgotten to bring any firelighters or silver birch, but I've been a bit of a genius and I've just popped my gas stove underneath for a second and I've started the fire. Now, call me a genius because I'm quite impressed with my thinking there. Right, in my process of trying to be really like ahead of the game, getting all my stuff for the kitchen ready, I've let the fire go out. And there's no dry wood around me, so I'm just gonna have to make this work. There you go. I'm gonna have to make some kindling. Well, as you can see, my fire pit is going very strongly and it is almost time for dinner. But I just thought I'd address something that I've had a few comments about. So a few of you have asked whether or not I get lonely when I'm out here on my little adventures, solo camping, solo bushcrafting, all that jazz. And the answer is yes. Like, honestly, I do. But something I do to help that is just listen to an audiobook or some relaxing music.
She started the fire using her gas stove, but later had to gather more kindling when it died. Her stove gas ran out while cooking, so she cooked the pasta over the fire instead. She made a simple meal, set up her sleeping gear inside the hut, listened to an audiobook, and ended the night feeling like the solo trip was a big success. Moxley's Paranormal World is a channel where Moxley, often with his friend Ming, explores and camps overnight in some of the most haunted and dangerous places in the UUT. Their videos mix survival-style camping with paranormal investigating, using different ghost hunting tools to try and capture real evidence. In this episode, they went to the Petrea Pits, a place known for its dark history and reputation as one of the UK's most haunted forests. The area is linked to the 1910 mining disaster, where 344 people died.
I keep thinking I can hear people up that side. Possibly can, but the place is huge. But the history to it is unreal. But there's a lake just to my right here, and it's said that a white lady has been spotted around it. Let's have a look. I bet that is horrifying at night. But yeah, there's been multiple reports of a white lady seen at this lake. I have to say though, a white lady, she gets around, doesn't she? But yeah, you can just see now, just through the trees, this is where pit number 3 is, where 344 people lost their lives. And then to the left is where one of the UK's worst mining disasters happened, just up this way.
That was over there somewhere, the first one.
Yeah. It sounded like kids to me.
It sounded like 2 kids and a female to me at the time.
As they started walking deeper in, Moxley pointed out how uneasy the place felt, mentioning old stories about a white lady and other spirits. While looking for a quiet spot to set up their tents, they heard what sounded like 2 kids and a woman talking nearby, which was creepy considering how isolated the area was. As they got the camp ready, the atmosphere started feeling even worse.
Away from the trail. Yeah. Right. So I'm stood over there. Before that whistle, and I swear, through the trees, something went through the trees.
Okay.
I can't rule out somebody on a push bike.
Right.
But then,
it's possible.
that whistling,
Yeah.
that whistle. So it's definitely people out here.
I've just heard them over there. I think it might have been somebody just whistling to others.
Yeah.
Moxley said he saw a dark shadow quickly move through the trees without making a sound. Soon after, they heard a loud whistle, making it feel like someone or something was watching them. Later, past midnight, just as Moxley was about to start the ghost hunt, he noticed 2 sets of torches heading straight toward their camp.
So let's venture out there. Wait a minute. There's people in the woods. What the hell? I don't know if you're seeing those lights. There's definitely people there again. I think we're just going to walk over and do a bit of a ghost hunt. It's not coming up. Ming?
Yeah.
Ming?
Yeah.
Right. There's 2 sets of torches coming towards us, mate.
Right, okay.
I knew I heard something. When I was laying in the tent, I knew I heard something. Yeah, there is. I'm going to flash back over towards them. They're over there, where my torch is now. Yeah, you can see it. See them? Yeah, they're coming this way.
Moxley aimed his flashlight toward the people coming closer, and they turned their lights off, then switched them back on and started flashing the camp like a strobe, as if they were trying to intimidate them. The whole night felt intense, with a constant feeling of being watched, and a mix of creepy human behavior and paranormal vibes. Even with the fear of being followed and the strange lights messing with them, Moxley and Ming still managed to make it through the night in one of the UK's most haunted places. Chris Baird's channel focuses on intense paranormal investigations in dangerous haunted places. He explores with Jasco and uses equipment like thermal cameras, night vision, and spirit boxes. On April 30th, 2025, they went to Skinwalker Forest, a remote area linked to Skinwalker legends dating back to the 1700s. As soon as they arrived, the atmosphere felt unsettling, and they started hearing strange, loud noises, along with non-stop distant sirens. Chris also mentioned finding a rock with a carved face on his van windshield there 10 days earlier, but he later lost it. They began hiking with night vision to search for the rock, and deeper in the trail, they found twisted branches arranged in a strange formation.
I'm sorry, but those tree branches right there, or sticks to your right, they don't look natural.
Yeah, can we talk about that too? Just want to show you guys.
Blair Witch vibes.
This is getting Blair Witch vibes for sure.
You can't say that. You didn't watch the movie.
Well, I know what the thing looks like. I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
That was not done like by nature. That was done by someone. Were there rituals done here? Oh my god, I forgot my thing is in a different language again. Can you guys, if you guys know what that means again, please?
That's so, oh, what was that?
Curiosity killed the Chris, right?
That's what they say, yeah.
The spirit box clears, they said you're gonna.
But they didn't mention when.
True. It wasn't wrong.
Chris was freaked out, saying it did not look natural and questioning if some kind of ritual had happened there. Things escalated fast when they thought they spotted something, causing them to panic and run. Near the trail, Chris even caught footage of a shadow moving across a gap in the trees.
What the dude? Holy I swear to God, everything. It looked like a shadow just moved across. Oh my god. It looked like human, or like, I don't know if there's someone out here. Something walked across up there, that opening up there. Holy. What? I'm fucking shaking. I don't think I can play these back on here, but I'll put it on the screen for you guys. That was so clear. Bro, I don't know, that was wild. I don't think it just like disappeared, but I don't think that there's someone.
Well,
there could be people here.
That's literally the way back to the van, so.
I know, we don't have a choice right now. What the hell was that?
Hello? I say we go.
I mean, the last thing we got was a name. Is that Alexander?
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't like whatever is doesn't want us here.
He said it looked like a human figure, but unusually tall, matching the usual Skinwalker descriptions. Jasko got seriously shaken when, after they heard a scream, Chris heard Jask's voice calling from right behind him. But when he turned around, Jasko was actually far away. Because of the non-stop aggressive activity, they ended the overnight investigation early. They heard direct threats through the spirit box, found disturbing ritual markers, and witnessed strange things, including what seemed like a Skinwalker sighting and a sound that resembled a gunshot. Chris said leaving was the smartest choice once their safety felt at risk. Even though they did not stay the full night, they still captured strong audio and disturbing footage, proving how active and terrifying the location was. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.